Hello guys, welcome to another video review. Today we have the PLUZZ Elite, which is a very low budget 4G Android phone, and if you're considering to buy it, we have links in the description with the latest deals on this phone. I'd like to start saying that this phone has a battery capacity of 2500 milliamp hour, which is pretty decent considering that the PLUZZ Elite just has a 5-inch screen. Let's unbox it now. This is how our PLUZZ Elite looks like. Pretty standard for a low budget phone. And it actually looks better on video than it feels when you touch it, especially the materials and the backplate. As you can see, the backplate looks quite nice actually. Has a dual camera, but in reality the quality of the camera is not so good. We will get back to that later. Here we have the headphone jack and the DC port. It actually looks very nice. The silver plate really adds to some kind of prestige, even if it's a very low budget phone. Now let's check what else is inside the box. We have the DC power adapter here. It actually looks and feels, especially feels very cheap. Then we have the DC USB cable. That was the bag in which the battery was inside. I had already previously inserted it on the phone. And finally the instructions manual, which came in English. That's actually a plus, because in some cases they just send manuals in Chinese. One important thing I noticed, this phone was made in India, and I think that we will be seeing much more phones made outside of China, probably made in India or Vietnam, Cambodia, as manufacturing in China gets more expensive. Here's the UI. Pretty standard UI for Android 7. It actually takes quite some time to run apps, depending on the app. Now let's check the browsing experience with this phone. Actually, the browsing is quite fast and the Wi-Fi speed is also fast. The same can be said about the 4G, although now I'm using it just through Wi-Fi and I don't have a SIM card actually inserted at the moment in this phone. It is important to note that for this price tag, and considering this is a 4G phone, it's actually a very good deal, and there are very few Android phones with 4G under $80 just like this PLUZZ Elite. Now let's take a look at its settings and specs. Pretty standard interface for Android 7. As you can see here, we have 1 gig of memory and a lot of it is already taken. We have 8 gig of storage, also almost half of it is taken, so it's not a lot of memory and storage considering I just got the phone and didn't install almost anything on it. It comes with 33 apps installed, which is quite okay, and there's not much bloatware in this phone, which is actually a very good advantage. A lot of phones come with a lot of bloatware. The same can be said about tablets, so in this aspect this phone is actually very good. Now we're going to take a look at its screen. The resolution is just 854 pixels by 480, which is not very good for a screen size of 5 inches. It's really not amazing. Also, if you look at the screen at any angle except like a straight 90 degrees angle, the image loses sharpness, brightness and contrast, so it's definitely far from ideal. Now let's talk about its camera. We have a little video recorder here with the camera. The back camera is dual camera with 5 megapixels and then another 0.3 megapixels, and the front camera is 2 megapixels. The quality of all cameras is far from ideal. And that's pretty much for this review. This phone is a good option if you're looking for a budget phone and you don't expect much for a phone and you want it to run Android 7. If you like this review, please subscribe and hit the like button, and also check the links on the description. We are constantly updating deals and coupons on electronics and software. See you next time.